Everybody, welcome back to this episode of Think Business Live. Looking forward to talking with Jackson Blau again. Jackson, good to connect with you. Jackson, I appreciate you setting up everything for the Entrepreneur Power Hour. For those of you who haven't seen, we've aired 10, 12 episodes of the entrepreneurs at University of Michigan who are making a big difference. And Jackson is the one that spearheaded that whole thing up. But he's also a senior at the University of Michigan, and he is also working as the community manager at Security Token Market. So, Jackson, as we just kind of dive in, for people who aren't familiar with security token markets or the security token market, or have listened to our last podcast that we did a couple months ago, kind of give everybody in a kindergarten to second grade level layman's terms, as far as what does it mean?
Okay, so I guess the best place to start will be with the company that I work with right above my head, Security Token Market. Security Token Market aims to be the Bloombergs of this blossoming new financial industry that I work within, known as the security token industry. And as you have hinted at, and as all the listeners are probably thinking, what the heck is a security token? You're probably thinking cryptocurrency, NFTs, some other capital raising structure that is made to raise capital quickly, anonymously, and potentially allow for different fraud and stuff like that. And that is not at all what a security token is. A security token is on the exact opposite end of the spectrum. A security token is a blockchain-based asset that has chosen to completely comply with regulations that are in place right now, meaning that they're either registering with, not either, they are registering with the SEC, they're working with registered exchanges, they're working with registered broker dealers. They're going the entire 9 yards to make sure that the way that they're raising capital is compliant with the current securities regulation that there is in the United States. And so in my head, a couple of years ago, I saw the cryptocurrency industry booming, and I couldn't really figure out why. There was a lot of value, quote unquote value, being created in the industry, but you couldn't really figure out what was happening. And the value that was being created was for the individuals that were raising capital via these unregulated investment contracts and were able to capitalize on other stupidity. And so there have been a lot of ups and downs in the crypto industry. I'm not saying that it's all bad. Cryptocurrency definitely has its space, but we're starting to move towards that true digital assets renaissance that we at Security Token Market have been talking about for a while.
Talk about the digital asset renaissance. What is that? Draw a picture of that. What does that look like? We're recording this March 20th, 2023. We were all in lockdown 3 years ago today. Now everybody is moving forward in a very fast way. What does this look like 3 years from today? And that's a hard question to answer, but what would you forecast it would look like today? Today, the stock market is volatile. We have banks that are going under and being bought. We have recession. We have a recession. We have inflation. There's so many things moving. So what does this look like if you can fast forward 3 years, this renaissance?
I think that there's no way to deny the hardships that are being felt in terms of the macro economy all over the world. And it's an unfortunate situation that we are in, and I don't think it's going to change anytime relatively soon. I think that it's going to be a tough couple of years for the entire world, with specifically the US, with the state of everything that's going on. And tokenization really just provides a means to getting capital where it needs to be more efficiently. So in traditional recessions and when businesses are folding, they are typically forced to either sell all their assets or they're forced to get acquired well below market value just to salvage what they can. Tokenization could really provide a means to an ends of getting a little bit back of that illiquidity discount, or that liquidity discount that is being provided by buyers in these markets. And it might be a better time to be a business seller, because you might be able to now, instead of having to sell for pennies on the dollar, get closer to that dollar whole figure that you need.
Yeah.
And so it's not, I don't think tokenization is a one size fits all solution. It can help a lot of things and can help a lot of opaque industries be more efficient. For example, one where I think that this is really going to happen over the next little bit is real estate. So, I mean, as we know, we've seen housing prices continue to rise and rise and rise. And I mean, we can say that the housing market is just going to keep going up forever, but we saw what happened in 2008. And so at some point that the legs of the housing market will be pulled out. And when that happens, there's going to be big players that are scooping up a lot of different assets. But what about people that don't have the means to go and buy a full property at once or multiple properties at once and buy whole lots and do whole leverage buyouts of places like as an individual investor, you are now going to have the means to park your capital in an asset that is producing yield, producing capital, and have it legally be yours, but also have that liquidity optionality that you don't have to be locked into the property for 30 years. If you're looking to park your money in something for a couple of months, earn a couple % on that and take it out just to beat inflation, you can do that now.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of products out there right now that allow you to keep up with inflation, especially at the rates that we've seen in the last year.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for all of that. And I want to kind of switch topics a little bit because you are a senior at the University of Michigan, and your generation are generations that were raised on social media. You spend your money differently than other generations. And I want to know, where are you and your friends? Where are you thinking about moving? How are you thinking about living? Are you looking at renting or buying? What are your spending habits? How are you getting ready to kind of think about that stuff and as you move into your post-college years?
So really for me, it is less about the where I'm going to be and more about the what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough to have been working with Security Token Market for almost 2 years now. We're based out of Miami. And I've been fortunate enough to have been working with them while I've lived in Michigan, while I've lived in Madrid. And so I would obviously love to be down in Miami, but that all comes down to what we end up agreeing on at Security Token Market. So I think that my generation is very logical in how they spend. I mean, obviously you talk to someone that loves to shop and you can think differently, but for the most part, a lot of my friends are pretty reasonable, logical. We don't like to spend where we don't have to. And so unless it is justified, like I know it would be with Security Token Market, I wouldn't move somewhere just to move. I'm really happy in Michigan. I have a lease right now through August. And so that kind of gives me until August until I have to think about where I'm moving next. Miami sounds really cool to me because there is so much going on with blockchain down there. The weather's great, but you also know it's pretty expensive. So I would need to be making a decent salary to be down there.
Yeah. And as your generation, do you see your friends who are seniors and who are moving, are they thinking, hey, I want to be in an office, or I can get a job anywhere I want, or, I can start a business that, has virtual people, where was, I don't necessarily know if it matters where was the mindset, because I think COVID shifted that in a significant way. And that was really, for the last 3 years, a major part of your college experience. But what are you and your, the people that you're around, how are they thinking about all that?
So really, could you just repeat that one time for me, John? I apologize.
Yeah. How are they thinking about, do they want to be in an office? Do they want to be hybrid? Are they only looking for hybrid? Are they looking, what are they looking for? I'm curious because you have this really intelligent group of people graduating college right now. And I think that, some of them want hybrid and some of them want flex and some of them want to be in the office. I come from the office days. I think there's a lot to be learned in an office. I love an office, but I think different generations think differently. So I just want to know what your perspective is.
So at least this is how I feel, and I don't think I can speak on behalf of my entire generation. I'll get into how I feel more generally in a second, but more specifically, how I feel about this is there definitely is work that can be done not in the office, but 9 out of 10 times the work that you're doing can be more productive being done in the office. Uh, Whether it's through collaboration, bouncing stuff off of someone else, and just talking about it, the feel of actually working in an office with other people on the same goal and not just in your little grind mode doing your thing. There's something to be said for that, but
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. In my head, I do a lot of writing with security token market, and I am someone that I cannot write when I'm being talked to. So if I'm in an office, it's I need to put earbuds in or I need to go into a different room.
Yeah.
But seriously, because I'm remote or because I'm hybrid, I can do it, or I can choose to write wherever I want. And so that was really nice when I was in Miami, the option of being hybrid, because I would be able to sometimes start my mornings with a bunch of writing from my apartment and then at 10 a.m. go into the office and finish my day out from there.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there definitely is more productivity that can come out of the right balance, but when you don't have the right balance and you're not the right person for it, you're not self-motivated, you're not a go-getter and someone that is what like I need to get this done now.
Yeah.
Stuff can get swept under the rugs, and so as a business owner, I would want my people to be in person.
Yeah.
I all the time, but as an employee, I do think hybrid has its benefits.
Yeah.
And more generally, I think that my generation kind of does see the benefits of hybrid and remote work. I don't think it's necessarily something like I haven't met a lot of people who are like, I am only going to recruit for a remote or a hybrid position. But hybrid is definitely nice because it gives you that option to take some time off to do what you want and to go where you want and work where you want.
Yeah.
But it's never like, I don't think it's a make or break. I think the one thing that is make or break, honestly, would be a completely remote position. Some
Yeah.
people are against a completely remote position,
Yeah. It's good.
as I am myself.
Yeah. I loved being in an office. I still like going into offices occasionally when I do, but I think there's a lot to learn, especially for generations coming out of college or even people moving to different companies. There's so much knowledge when you're surrounded by the energy and different conversations and things of that nature at meetings. So, I support the hybrid, but I think I hope we see this continuation of people moving back into the office a little bit, because being in a pit, being in a conference room, I think it has a lot of advantages.
I completely agree. And I mean, I
Yeah.
got to see both sides of it. Like I said, I've been with Security Token Market for almost 2 years now. I started completely remote. They were based in Miami. I was working here in Michigan, and I reached out cold via
Yeah.
email and spammed their entire team and got a response. And then we met online on a Zoom call and we hit it off and we did a little exchange of services. They give me time and help with my investment thesis that I was working on at the time, and I would help out with social media. And we
Yeah.
just kind of developed that relationship over Zoom. Literally, I'd never met any of these people for I think it was well over 6 to 8 months until one of the guys on the team who is a Michigan alumni came back to visit campus. So I worked for them out of Michigan for almost a year remote, and then I went to Madrid and worked completely remote. So not only in one spot I moved, but then I was most fortunate to get to come back from Madrid and go and work for the summer in Miami with them.
Yeah.
So I got to do remote from 2 different locations and in person, and I would never trade the in person for either of the remote opportunities.
Yeah.
As great as it was living in Madrid and working remotely, it was that much better being hands on the ground, boots on the ground.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right, quick speed round for you, Jackson. You ready?
That's good.
One thing Chat GPT will change the most in the next 12 months is?
Content creation.
Yeah. And as somebody who doesn't know anything about the tokenization that you're talking about, one thing that they should do every day for the next 30 days is
read up on blockchain, not cryptocurrency, blockchain.
all right, good. And the biggest lesson you learned in college?
Biggest lesson I learned in college is to do and give as much as I can.
All
Just
right.
do everything and give whenever I can.
All right, good. What's more important, studying in college or networking in college?
I think networking.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at
It's
this
important. You got
point,
to. I mean, studying's important, but you got to. It's a great place to build your network and friends and things of that nature. So good.
yeah,
Good. All
and
right.
just as a student, there's just you have access. Everyone wants to help students,
Yeah,
and so you have so much opportunity.
I love it. Tell everybody where they can connect with you, Jackson, and where they can learn more about the company.
You can learn more about security token market on our new website, stm.co, stm.co. And you can learn more about me on my LinkedIn, my Twitter, any social media. It's Jackson Blau, Blau, as seen right there. Sorry.
Yeah.
And if you want to reach out to me, please feel free to. My email is Jackson H, as in Henry, Blau, Jackson H Blau at gmail.com.
Awesome.
So feel free to reach out.
Jackson, I can't thank you enough. It's been great having you on the show. We'll have you on again. And I love talking about this topic. I'm learning as much as I think anybody who's listening. I love to learn. Think community, so this is, to those of you that this is new or somewhat new, it is really important to study and understand what it is. And, one of the ways I use ChatGPT, for example, is I kind of use it as a companion, right? I'll use it in a way that I used to use Google, because I'll say, hey, ChatGPT, can you explain tokenization to me? And it'll give me, and then I'll say, hey, go into more detail about X, Y, and Z. So it's almost like having a conversation with the computer where you can really learn. So
Exactly.
for those of you who haven't checked it out, it's an amazing tool to use as just like almost another team member. That's how I think of ChatGPT and Jasper and things of that nature. Jackson, this has been great. You always have a ton of knowledge to share and a lot of insight. You're well beyond your years. I appreciate you being on Think Business, and thanks again for organizing the Entrepreneurial Power Hour. Those 12 interviews, we've aired 10 so far, have been amazing. And I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the people that interviewed. The community appreciate you. If Jackson can help you and you want to learn more about tokenization, give him a buzz, reach out to him. He's full of knowledge. Jackson, good to see you, man. Thanks so much as always.
It was great to see you.
All
Have a
right,
great one, John.